Coming up on WUTV, major changes are in store for the University of West Georgia as UWG President Dr. Kyle Marrero announces his presidency over Georgia Southern University.
And we'll take a look at how the new Carroll County transit system is doing after its opening last July.
We'll also be sitting down with Senator Mike Dugan to talk about some of his pressing issues being discussed in this year's legislative session. WUTV
starts right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to another WUTV Newscast. I'm Charity McFather.
And I'm Georgia MacArthur. Thank you for joining us today.
Some major changes are coming to the University of West Georgia's Board of Regents. Announced last month that UWG President Dr. Kyle Marrero will be leaving at the end of March. Dr. Marrero was chosen to serve as the 14th president of Georgia Southern University and is preparing to begin his new position on April 1st.
Dr. Marrero stopped by the studio to sit down with WUTV anchor Bodie Brooks to talk about some of his major accomplishments over the last 5 years.
You certainly have made an impact. West Georgia has come a long way since you did first take office in 2013. From record enrollment, we've had the opening of not one but 2 new campuses and the creation of the Engaged West Initiative and Strategic Plan. Looking back on all of these accomplishments, how did you prioritize what all you were going to do first during your tenure here?
That's a great question. Well, you know, I'd been in academia for 20 years before that, and I was fortunate to be an assistant professor of music, an associate professor of music, a full professor of music, a department chair, director of a school, art, theater, and music departments, and a vice president for advancement. And through that process, what I was able to see not only from every level of what it meant to be a faculty member, what it meant to really be engaging firsthand with students, and then, you know, the issues you may have with a department or a college level administrative structure, and how could you really empower the faculty to be successful. And then at the same turn, looking when I was at that department or dean level, what it would mean to really be able to empower and enrich and enable then the department chair and the faculty of those departments to be successful. And thus as a vice president and raise money for those areas, I was a VP for advancement. And then as a president, what all those experiences having been in every job along the way, to understand the through line with that and what it truly meant to help students be successful in this transformational period in their life. And so for me, as I came in wanting to do more than just the norm, just come in and lead an institution and help them with a strategic plan. So we started with a strategic plan because we needed a direction. We needed a way to measure that, something that we could hang on to. But when we took that strategic plan, the Engage West initiative was really the next part, because I knew from experience, Bodie, then a strategic plan becomes an inanimate object that's placed on a shelf that then everybody every year or two pulls off and goes, let's see if we actually did anything on the strategic plan. Oh, looky there, we did a couple things. As opposed to, what's the culture? What do the people need to do every day and understand every day, of which they can then be a part of this and feel empowered then to help the institution progress, their department progress, their college, their division, and be tethered and completely aligned in tandem with the institution achieving that success. And so Engage West became then the living, breathing soul, the driver, the culture, evidence-based leadership, a culture of high performance, where every individual would know what to do every day, why they were so important, why what they did was so important in achieving the goals of the institution, their unit, their department, and then that they would be engaged. So the word engagement was critical, because we celebrate shared governance and academic freedom on any campus in the United States. But often that word shared governance ends up meaning, it means I can just complain about anything and I don't have to have a solution, right? What we really try to empower is, yes, be critical. Tell us what we can do better to help the students have a more successful path and pathway through their time here. But more importantly, bring problem-solving solutions along the way and to equip that and be engaged in that process of continuous improvement. So that was the difference, and I think what we've been really successful is empowering that, embedding that, sustaining that legacy now that there's an expectation of excellence, of accountability of all faculty and staff towards the single outcome of student success.
If you would like to see the full interview with Dr. Marrero, you can check it out on our Facebook page at UWG WUTV. We want to wish Dr. Marrero the very best of luck in this new endeavor.
And the University of West Georgia's Noonan campus is now seeing a dramatic increase in student enrollment.
Since the spring semester of 2018, another 374 students have enrolled. The Noonan campus is currently accommodating 1,062 students for the spring of 2019 semester. Officials say the increase is a result of offering a better sequence of classes that allows students to finish their programs more effectively and graduate on time. Other majors that saw an increase were biology, health and community wellness, and elementary education. Lawmakers are scrambling to make a deal before another government shutdown. President Trump's part-time deal expires on Friday, February 15th, which means we could see the second government shutdown of the year. The first shutdown, which lasted from December 22nd through January 25th, was the longest shutdown in history and caused some 800,000 federal employees to miss 2 paychecks, and it even managed to delay financial aid for several students. After the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, some college students are still having issues with their financial aid. While the federal student aid was not directly impacted by the temporary shutdown, students are finding they need certain additional documents, including IRS tax transcripts, to receive aid, leaving students the option to pay out of pocket for their tuition or not attend school for the spring semester. Ethan Henninger, a student at the University of West Georgia, tells us how this has personally impacted him and his plan for graduation.
Yeah, so basically I'm out of school because the government shutdown happened at the worst time when I was trying to get that one form. And so so now I'm not in school because of that.
Henninger is expected to graduate in the spring class of 2019, but will now have to wait to finish his degree. When we tried to find more information for students affected since the government's reopening, the federal student aid posted their page could not be found. However, prior to its removal, this message was posted on the FSA website stating they are evaluating the impact this may have on students and adapting to processes as needed. The government is temporarily reopened as of January 25th, but students like Ethan are realizing they may not be able to receive aid until the government opens permanently.
Over this past winter break, the University of West Georgia implemented a new parking feature for drivers on campus. This new feature has not gone unnoticed. In fact, many have already begun to question this new feature's effectiveness. To help cut down raging parking wars as students head to class, UWG Parking and Transportation introduced parking tickers to the campus. Parking tickers have been implemented in several lots across campus. The device uses solar panels and a sensor to count how many spots are available. However, some students are concerned that this still is not helpful.
Parking tickers are ineffective and useless because it doesn't tell you which spot is available, it just tells you a spot is available.
The parking tickers are a great aspect to the university, but I believe, sometimes, it's hard for us to understand, if it's the exact number.
I think that money would have been much better spent, on a parking garage or a parking deck of some sort.
Associate Vice President Mark Reeves of Auxiliary Services explains the reason for the new devices.
They don't have time to shop around and look for spaces, so we thought rather than have to build more parking, which is just hundreds of thousands of dollars, it'd be better to direct the students to the empty parking spaces. That saves them money because they pay the fees that would pay for new parking lots, but it also gets them to the parking a lot quicker.
Directors of Auxiliary Services and Parking and Transportation says they work day in and day out with parking contractors to make sure that the parking tickers maintain their effectiveness. Now, I spoke with Parking and Transportation Manager Mr. Wade Crenshaw, and he says he comes out here every morning around 7:15 to reset these devices to make sure they maintain their effectiveness throughout the day. Reporting for WUTV, I'm Georgia MacArthur.
Along with the new parking tickers, UWG's Construction and Planning Department started a new project that will make it easier for students, staff, and visitors to navigate around campus. WUTV's Morgan Godby has more on this story.
It is very easy to get lost on the UWG campus, but that may soon change with a new construction project. Starting last May, Planning and Construction Services began a long-term plan to place new signs in various areas of campus. Their website states a coherent wayfinding system is needed to guide movement across campus and instill a sense of place. The North Campus sign by the firehouse was the first one replaced. The signs will mark spots all over campus from buildings, streets, parking lots, and sidewalks. There is no expected date for when the signs will be completed. Reporting for WUTV, this is Morgan Godby.
And now, before our break, we'll take a quick look at the weather outside with Mackenzie Love.
Thanks, Georgia. Taking a live look outside, it's a wet start to the week. This week in Carrollton, we're going to see a wide range of temperatures. So you might want to have your umbrella, sunglasses, hats, and scarves handy because you never know what you're going to get. I'll be back later in the show to give you your full 5-day forecast.
Thank you, Mackenzie. And coming up, you can hear more about a new monument that is on its way to Carrollton community.
And you can hear from the Senator Mike Dugan about his role as Senate Majority Leader when we come back.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
Finally, we found his assignment. He rushed through it. I wonder if he even learned anything.
I wasn't gonna get it right, so I just wanted to get back to playing my video game. At least I'm good at that.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as I
harder.
can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free online resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Here you'll get personalized recommendations, practical tips, daily access to experts, and more. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org.
I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. And even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, Maria, and she convinced me to continue my education. She just never judges. She's a true role model.
From the depths of my heart, I thank you, Maria, for being a friend and a beautiful person. No one receives a diploma alone, and I'm honored to share this moment with you. Thank you.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Senator Mike Dugan has recently been named the Senate Majority Leader for the state of Georgia. WUTV reporter Bodie Brooks got an opportunity to sit down with Senator Dugan to discuss his thoughts on his new role and get a preview of what's to come.
That's right, Charity. Senator Dugan and I discussed a range of topics to be previewed in this year's legislative session, from education, rural development, new voting methods, even medical marijuana in Georgia. But one of the biggest things on the senator's mind is the new shoes he now has to fill. Carrollton's own is rising through the ranks of the Georgia legislature. As the 2019 session gets underway at the Capitol, Carrollton State Senator Mike Dugan begins his new role as Majority Leader of the Georgia Senate.
People want to understand where we're going. They want to have a clear sense of purpose, understand what the intent is at the end of the day, and have somebody that's going to be honest with them and have their back.
We spoke with Dugan inside his office under the Gold Dome and talked about both his new position and the new wave of legislation Georgia faces under a new administration.
Any session we're going in, education is going to be our number one focus. Other priorities that we have, you've heard stories about the two Georgias. You've got the metropolitan areas that have done extremely well. We're proud of everything that they've done, but we haven't done quite as well in some of the rural parts of the state. And to provide them with the assets they need, the tools they need to become competitive within the rest of the country.
Dugan says Carroll County is a perfect example.
Are you a urban district or are you a rural district? And I go, yes, because half of my district is metropolitan Atlanta. The other half is very, very agrarian, and I'm proud of both, but they have different challenges.
As Dugan closed, he spoke to me about his pride for Carrollton.
I'm proud to be from there because of the amount of innovation that has been born there that is now moving across the entire state as the standard.
Reporting for WUTV. To watch the full interview with Senator Dugan, head on over to our Facebook page at UWG-WUTV. Live in the WUTV newsroom, I'm Bodie Brooks.
Among many other monuments around the city of Carrollton, the Carrollton City Council just approved a brand new monument of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to be built in Courthouse Park. Here's WTV reporter Morgan Godby with more.
On Monday, Carrollton City Council members discussed the placement of a Martin Luther King Jr. monument in the Carrollton area. The Martin Luther King Coalition presented a digital image of what the monument would look like and where it would be placed. The monument was approved and the Coalition and the City Council agreed on a location near the courthouse.
We do have a lot of people, traffic going into the courthouse. Remind the people that actually go and pass by that they are somebody and that they have an equal right as well.
The statue will be dedicated at the MLK celebrations in February 2020. Reporting for WTV, this is Morgan Godby.
Carroll County began a new transit system for residents back in July of 2018. WUTV reporter Samari Williams has more into how this new system is going.
Carroll County's transit system began servicing residents July 2nd and since then has provided transportation to at least 35% of locals. Since its beginning, over 25,000 people have used the connecting Carroll bus system. Citizens primarily use it for doctor's visits, shopping, and even to get to work and school. Altogether, the program costs around $35,000 annually. District 1 Commissioner Montrell McClendon explains how the system is funded.
We work with the GDOT, which is Department of Transportation, Department of Health and Human Services, of course Carroll County, and then the residents, and basically when they pay fees to ride the bus. So we kind of divvied up the cost.
Connecting Carroll provides one-way trips for a fee of $3 and a round-trip fee of only $6. Reporting for WUTV, I'm Samari Williams.
As Carrollton County continues to grow, accommodations must be made to ensure enough room is available for students in the Carrollton City School system. 15 years, Carrollton High School student body has doubled in size. Carrollton City Board of Education is expanding the size to accommodate all students coming into Carrollton City School system. Superintendent Dr. Mark Alberta says 94% of local Carrollton City voters approved the funding.
A new high school, and so we sold bonds, and the total project cost will be between $40 and $45 million when we're all said and done.
The construction is currently underway. Phase 1 is near completion. Phase 2 and 3 are expected to be completed by the start of the upcoming school year. Phases include a new high school proper, an auxiliary gym, and an indoor activity center. Reporting for WTV, I'm Georgia McCoy. Bowdoin Elementary School was just recently named a National Badal School of Merit. This prestigious title is given to students that demonstrate a strong commitment to academic excellence. Congratulations to the Bowdoin Elementary School students, parents, staff, and all of their hard work.
If you live in Carrollton, you may have heard of downtown dollars before. But what exactly are downtown dollars and what can they be used for? WUTV's Samari Williams has the answers.
Carrollton's Main Street Department has sold over 10,000 downtown dollars in the past 2 months. The dollars are a part of a program to aid in the development of businesses near the historical downtown area. The program was started in 2012 to drive traffic to stores near Adamson Square and keep money circulating in the community. Several businesses have gotten on board and allowed residents to purchase items with downtown dollars. Andy Leslie, Main Street Director, explains how businesses are reimbursed after customers use their dollars.
And when they are reimbursed, the business owner or manager will bring them to us and we reimburse them for the full amount. So Main Street doesn't actually make any money off of it, or the city doesn't make any money. We reimburse completely to our downtown businesses.
Downtown dollars are available for purchase in denominations of $5, $10, and $25. Reporting for WUTV, I'm Samari Williams.
Coming up, WUTV will have your 5-day forecast to help you prepare for Georgia's unpredictable weather. What was she saying? I literally couldn't hear.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume is not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and I help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But here's the thing. Can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Can one piece of paper really tell you my whole story? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or how anytime there was an opportunity, I was the first one to step up. Because I wasn't gonna let my life, my circumstances dictate who I was gonna become. And all of that determination, the commitment, the drive, that's me. And that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent, like me.
Welcome back from the break. It's now time to get a check on our weather for the week. Mackenzie, what is the 5-day forecast looking like for this week?
Thanks, Charity. Well, unlike last week, we're going to cool off a little bit and experience some thunderstorms going into our weekend. So now let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. On Tuesday, we're going to experience some scattered showers starting earlier in our day. We'll have a high of 67 and a low of 35. On Wednesday, we're going to cool off a bit and dry out a little bit. We're going to experience a high of 56 and a low of 34. On Thursday, we're going to stay dry with a high of 62 and a low of 50. And then going into our weekend on Friday, we're going to have some partly cloudy skies with the high of 60 and the low of 42. And then finally on Saturday, we're going to cool up a bit with some cloudy and sunny skies. We're going to see a high of 55 and a low of 34. That's all we have for you this week in your Weather Center. After the break, we'll catch you up on all things sports. Keep it here. This is WUTV.
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
When I was in high school, I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home, and that's hard when you feel like you're doing it alone. That's when I met our niece, my mom, as I'll call her. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but your future is more important. She's my strength. Just being a support for those hard days and those hard nights, not giving up on me. Thank you to my mama. I wouldn't have did this if it wasn't for her. Today is for my mama and everybody who had my back. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. Some people would think, well, maybe it's really not that big of a deal, but it really is. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome to WUTV Sports. It's a bittersweet year for the UWG Wolves basketball player as he takes on the court for the last time as a college athlete. WUTV sports reporter Tariana Wingate sat down with senior guard Aaron Ulmer and to announce his journey. So let's take a look.
The California native Aaron Ulmer has played in 68 games in his career at the University of West Georgia. Ulmer started the 2018-2019 season with 230 assists, and with the season almost at an end, the guard leads the team in assists with 95 and averages almost 5.5 points per game. And this is what makes the third-year starter a true leader.
I've been a starter for 3 years, so being able to see different things that some other teammates can't see, it just takes that step to show them that you don't have to make all the plays. You can help somebody else make that play.
Over the last 4 years of his career, the guard has experienced some drastic changes, such as being the only player returning a couple seasons ago. Last year, the team started their journey with Coach David Moore, and Ulmer says he tried to make the transition for him and the new players as easy as possible.
So just getting everybody to constantly work on a day-to-day basis. It's been a struggle, but ultimately it's brought us together, and it's probably one of the closest teams I've been on this year compared to all the other 3 years.
With the season almost at an end, Ulmer knows that although he is leaving UWG soon, the team can only progress from here.
It's going to be a bright future. I know I'm a senior, and I'm leaving after this year, and me, Mark Quill are leaving, but the further and further along they go with this coach, the chemistry's just going to get better, the work ethic's just going to get better, and the team's just going to continuously get better.
Reporting for WTV Sports, I'm Tariana Wingate.
With the help of Aaron, the men's basketball team took the win over the West Florida last weekend, bringing them to 13-10 in season and 8-7 in the Gulf South Conference. The men's team will be back in action on Thursday, taking on Auburn Montgomery on the road. Over on the women's side, the Lady Wolves fell short to West Florida last weekend. The Wolves are now 12-9 overall and 7-8 in the Gulf South Conference, and they will also play Auburn Montgomery on Thursday.
In other UWG sports news on Friday, February 8th, the Wolves baseball team had their home opener along with a 3-game series after playing on the road for the first 4 games of the season. The Wolves celebrated a 15-3 victory over the Belmarine Knights on Friday, but fell short Saturday in the first game of the doubleheader. The Wolves picked it back up in Game 3 of the series after going into a 9th inning in the ball game, being tied. Logan Taylor stepped up to the plate and hit a game-winning home run. The Wolves won 26-14. The Wolves softball team has their opener this Wednesday, February 13th. They'll take on Georgia College and State University.
This has been your update on UWG Sports. Up next, we have some heartwarming stories for the closing of our show.
And the sweetness of these stories will get you prepared for this upcoming Valentine's Day. Are you excited about Valentine's Day, Mackenzie?
Charity.
Charity,
I'm here.
yes.
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
When I was in high school, I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home, and that's hard when you feel like you're doing it alone. That's when I met Narnese, my mom, as I'll call her. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but your future is more important. She's my strength. Just being a support for those hard days and those hard nights, not giving up on me. Thank you to my mama. I wouldn't have did this if it wasn't for her. Today is for my mama and everybody who have my back. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. Some people would think, well, maybe it's really not that big of a deal, but it really is. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
In preparation for this upcoming Valentine's Day, some students at UWG decided to do something extra special to honor our veterans.
And students gather at the University Suites Community Center to decorate cupcakes with some sweet candy to eat, but they even took the time to write a few thank you notes to send out to the veterans in the community as well.
The excitement for Valentine's Day has not only inspired students, but it even sparked the development of a new Valentine's variety show. The Outpost Opry has announced its first ever Valentine's Day show. The Outpost Opry variety show is coming to Carrollton, Georgia for its first Valentine's Day performance. The show will provide dinner, as well as singing, dancing, and comedic acts featuring the one and only Michael Twitty, son of former American country and rock music singer Conway Twitty. The Opry Show is Georgia's only Branson-style show and has traveled to many different states across the U.S. Joey Garland, the show's host and producer and songwriter, says this show will be one to remember.
And I have a core basic general show. Then I have national artists that will come and feature in the show. And then I have the comedy and other character comedies and different things. When I started trying to put this show together, I went and tried to get the cream of the crop and pick the best of the best. And they've been with me a long time.
There will also be acts from award-winning vocalist Raquel Ray, Nashville recording artist Sonia Gardner, and nationally acclaimed vocalist G. Arnold. This show will be from 6 to 9 p.m. on February 14th. For more information, go to www.outpostopry.com. We would like to thank you for watching our WUTV Newscast. Keep in mind that you can always watch more from WUTV on Channel 13.1 on campus and Channel 180 off campus.
The latest in news, weather, and sports is available on our Twitter at UWGWTV. Also, be sure to check us out on our Facebook page. And that's all the news we have for you today, so we'll see you here next time on any latest updates and news.